Okay, hello everyone. In today's game, I'm going to show you a game where one pawn really saved the game for me. More like 3 pawns, let's say 3 pawns. But one pawn delivered the crucial moment that won me the game. I had the black pieces, and my opponent started the game off with c4, the English. And I didn't feel like playing some sidelines like g6, the modern defense, or knight f6. I wanted to play like I wanted to play proper things. I wanted to play e5. So it's like a reversed Sicilian. So if you reverse the position, then it's basically like one side is a move ahead. But that doesn't matter. It's too complicated. So I just played e5, g3, knight f6, and we basically I just opened the position up. I didn't force any major piece trades in the beginning because I wasn't familiar with the position. So I just kept developing my pieces. Now, yeah, that's what we did. And I played this move f6 just to create more space for my light square bishop. They are doing nothing at the moment, but I had plans for them in the future. But we'll see if it came through or not. So I just retreated it because I saw this knight was eventually coming to c5. So I retreated it. And here I thought of okay, in the position I played bishop takes c5 and then rook takes c5 occurred. However, I thought of queen c8, but I didn't like h4. H4 king h wait h4 king h2 and then bishop h3 targeting my queen. I just didn't like it. My queen was like it's too passive. It's defender. Queens are not supposed to be defenders. So I gave up my dark square bishop because I didn't want to go into so much trouble. And my opponent's bishop a isn't activated yet. So after rook takes c5, I retreated my knight attacking the rook. The rook retreated, and I just put my queen on a better square. Brought my rooks, connected them, put them in the center. I moved my other knight back to defend my knight. It's a strange way to defend the knight, but I guess it's the only way. And my opponents, you can see all the pressure piling up here on the c file. So I just brought my rook up, intending to double on the d file. And my opponent offered me a queen trade, and I thought for quite a while here. I'm not sure how long, but I'll check now. But I was thinking about, do I want to trade? Where do I put my queen if I don't trade? Here, there's knights coming to c4, knight can come to e4. My opponent's pieces are just activating, so I decided to trade, and I doubled up along the d file. And I played knight a6, which was a mistake on my end because of bishop takes c6, b takes. Well, knight takes c5. My bad. Because b takes is actually just bad for me. It's just really bad for me. I'm just stuck defending a hopeless position. Therefore, I had to go into this long sequence, which I did not see, and I'm thankful that my opponent didn't play this because after bishop takes d7, knight takes d7, and rook takes c7, I would have to play bishop d5. I do get the long diagonal, but it makes no difference. I'm threatening nothing. I'm passive, and I'm down a pawn now. So fortunately, my opponent did not see this. Instead, they sacrificed a rook, which looked really good to me. It looked like a really good move. A nice positional move you'd often see in the Sicilian defense once white castles on the queen side. So I took it. I had to take the exchange. I wouldn't say no thank you, but I took it. Bishop took and I'm up in exchange for a pawn. My opponent has the bishop here for a pawn, which is just quite good actually. I would do that. The knight came in and my rook is running out of squares. Other bishop came in just taking this diagonal. I retreated my knight to attack the bishop. I would have taken that bishop if it didn't move for free. So I just kept attacking the bishop. The bishop moved, and I activated my knight because my c7 pawn was hanging. The rook could have taken it here if I didn't. Sorry. Therefore, played knight c6, knight a6, defending the pawn on c7, and I wanted to push it because it seemed more of a weakness to me than an asset. So after f4, I took. I played h6 with the idea of playing f5 so that the knight cannot jump into g5. The king came and I just my bishop just went to go meet the opponent's knight. I was never intending to like take it out for lunch or anything. But my opponent retreated and I pushed the pawn sacrificing it. I just didn't know what to do. But I noticed that I could take control of the fourth rank and my opponent allowed me to. They played rook c7, going after my a7 pawn, but I just pushed it. Not yet, if I first took the pawn with check, and then I went after the h2 pawn because if my opponent decides to take the pawn on a7, I'm up a pawn, and their king is in the center. So I thought, okay, I'm much better. Maybe if not much, slightly. But my opponent decided to play bishop b5, and instead of taking the pawn, because I know my opponent's idea was most likely bishop c4, trading off my strong bishop, I pushed it, and after rook a7, I wanted to trade off rooks because I knew I was going to win this pawn eventually, even though knight c1 could happen to defend the pawn. I would always have, after my bishop's on a8, I always have bishop to g2 attacking the knight, and the h2 pawn loses its defense. Therefore, my opponent did not want to trade for reasons. It might be that reason, but I doubt it. I had 10 seconds here, my opponent was playing fast as well. So after 5 seconds of thinking, my opponent made a blunder, and now it's -3 in the position, and I'm only up a pawn. So I get all the attacking chances, and I went for it. First, I gave a check on the e file. The king has to go back. Then I took the pawn on h2 with check, another check, another check. The king came up, and I saw, okay, there's a mating net with a pawn here. But how do I get to it? I saw so many different ways. I thought about playing g5 first. I thought about g5, king h5, bishop to f7, king takes, and then checkmate. But I thought there was one quicker. There was a quicker way. So instead of that, I played like a prophylaxis move. I played bishop f7, which is a blunder because it's no longer checkmate. But I still have the correct idea, but just the wrong sequence. Here, however, my opponent played bishop c4, trying to distract my bishop, and I delivered checkmate with a pawn, and this pawn became a king because it saved me this game. However, there was one move that could have saved white, which was knight f3, because after I played g5, my opponent can retreat back to h3, and it's no longer check because the knight is blocking the rook's check. So after that, I would have just taken the pawn here, and I'm up 3 pawns. No, no. I forgot about something. I'm actually threading a fork here, but I'm not up 3 pawns. I'm actually up one, two, three, four. Okay, I'm up 1 pawn, but I'm up an exchange. So it's completely winning anyway. The fork is coming. I'm threatening the knight on f3. Yeah, the house is falling here for white. But at the end of the day, this pawn on g5 really saved me. Should have never saved me, but it saved me.